good? It's your girl Tay, and I'm here yet again with another update video. So definitely make sure you guys smash that like button and comment down below, subscribe, plus push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload a video, you will be notified. All right, you guys, so let's jump right into the news. And you know I'm going to give you my opinion about everything because this is just ridiculous. But a Rhode Island federal judge on Friday ordered the U.S. Department of Agriculture to distribute money owed to the recipients of the SNAP program as soon as possible, just one day before funding for SNAP was set to lapse. U.S. District Judge John McConnell's ruling from the bench came shortly after another federal judge in a separate case said that the Trump administration's plan not to pay out SNAP benefits beginning on November the 1st due to the ongoing federal government shutdown was unlawful, but stopped short of ordering the Trump administration to disperse funds. So from my understanding, we had two federal judges that said, hey, you've got to pay these benefits. One said, you've got to pay it and you've got to pay it now. You need to figure it out. I believe that one of them gave him up until the 4th, which is tomorrow. So today is November the 3rd when you will be seeing this video. But I believe that, and don't quote me on this because I'm not sure. This is just what I have heard. I haven't found anything to verify this myself. But from what I've heard, one of the judges have given him, I believe, until the 4th to come up with a plan as to how they plan on administering the benefits. So he has up until tomorrow, Trump, to come up with a plan as to how he plans on administering these benefits. Now, in the midst of all of that, we had the Treasury Secretary to step forward and said, hey, as soon as we get the information as to how to proceed with paying out these benefits, we can have these benefits back to being dispersed as early as this week, the 5th, possibly Wednesday. So let's get into that. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on Sunday signaled the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program SNAP benefits could restart as soon as this week. There's a process, he says, that has to be followed. So we've got to figure out what the process is. He told CNN's Jake Tapper on the State of the Union. President Trump wants to make sure that people get their food benefits. So it could be done by Wednesday, Tapper asks. And the Treasury Secretary's response is, could be. On Friday, President Trump signaled he would fund the SNAP if pointed in the appropriate legal direction after a federal judge directed officials to use an emergency fund for the program. The administration was previously adamant that it would not utilize these funds amid the over 4 weeks long government shutdown. Our government lawyers, this is coming from Trump, our government lawyers do not think we have the legal authority to pay SNAP with certain monies we have available. And now 2 courts have issued conflicting opinions on what we can and cannot do. Trump posted this on Truth Social Friday evening. I do not want Americans to go hungry just because the radical Democrats refuse to do the right thing and reopen the government, he continued. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's website said the well has run dry to issue SNAP benefits amid the government shutdown. On top of the page, the department pins the blame on Senate Democrats for the non-issuance of benefits, which began on Saturday. So they're claiming that this is all the Democrats' fault. So let me tell you guys something about all of this that is going on. While this would be a win for most people, for me, you guys know I like to give you my honest opinion, and I definitely don't like to set unrealistic expectations. So provided everything falls through, right now, there is nothing or no one that says that they're going to oppose these benefits being paid out. So even with everything being in order and in place, still expect there to be some type of delays in payment. Everybody may not get their benefits as soon as this week. It may go out in weeks. In waves. So it could be a couple of days. It could even be a couple of weeks. However, let's go back before that. Here's the reality of the situation. While we have 2 federal judges that said, yes, he needs to pay these benefits and he needs to pay them as soon as possible, the reality is that there was a contingency plan for such an emergency is this, specifically geared towards paying out SNAP benefits during the event of a government shutdown. It was posted on the USDA's website stating that in the midst of a government shutdown, SNAP benefits are not to be interrupted. There is $5.5 billion allocated to paying out SNAP benefits. Now, as far as I understand, and I do believe I overquoted this amount in a previous video, but I believe it takes around $8 to $9 billion a month to fund SNAP. So there's a possibility that benefits may not have been paid out in full. Again, this is all just guessing and assuming and all of that and whatnot, okay? However, what we do know is that there is $5.5 billion available to pay towards SNAP benefits to help in a situation like this, because SNAP benefits were never supposed to be interrupted in the first place. However, that contingency plan miraculously disappeared into thin air, replaced with another one stating that those funds can only be used in the event of a natural disaster such as tornadoes and hurricanes and things of that nature. So there is a little bit of a tug of war going back and forth with Donald Trump's administration and those judges with, okay, well, where are we supposed to get the money from to pay? They're basically trying to say that, hey, the contingency plan no longer states that that money is supposed to go to emergency, to SNAP benefits. So where are we supposed to get the money from? So Trump is sitting on his hands saying, hey, yeah, I want to pay. I want to make sure that the Americans don't go hungry, but I need my lawyers to communicate with how to fund the benefits. Where am I going to get the money from? Because we don't have the money, which I find to be strange and ironic considering we sent $40 million to Argentina, considering they were able to come up with money to pay for WIC, considering they were also able to come up with money to pay for, I think, law enforcement. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that all of those programs are a necessity and everybody should be getting paid. I don't think people should be worrying about food, especially during this time of the year. But I just find it so ironic that now we're questioning where to get the money from when you're steady sending money to other programs and to other countries. I'm pretty sure that we could have used that $40 million in the United States of America before you gave it to Argentina. But hey, that's just me. So that's pretty much where we are when it comes to that. Yes, those federal judges did say that he has to pay those benefits. And yes, we have the Treasury Secretary saying, as soon as I get the instructions on how to pay it, we can go ahead and pay it. However, Trump is saying, where's the money at? Where are we going to get the money from? How do we fund it? So as soon as you guys tell me where I can get the money from to fund the program, then yeah, sure, of course, I'll go ahead and I'll fund the emergency SNAP benefits during the shutdown. That's pretty much where we are with that, you guys. Okay, so it looks like Wisconsin has also decided to declare a state of emergency. It says Governor Tony Evers declared a state of emergency and a period of abnormal economic disruption in Wisconsin due to the potential lapse in food share benefits, which I believe is their program for stamps. As the government shutdown continues, Evers said the declaration is warranted because the situation is, quote, jeopardizing access to critical resources and programs that are necessary for health, safety, well-being, and the economic security of Wisconsin citizens. The Supplemental Nutrition Program helps about 40 million Americans buy food, including 170,000 children and 110,000 individuals over the age of 60 receive food share benefits each month. And this is just in Wisconsin, okay? Saturday, those who rely on SNAP benefits lost those benefits, unfortunately. Over 25 governors and attorney generals, including Wisconsin AG Josh Hall, filed a lawsuit earlier this week seeking to ensure SNAP benefits aren't terminated. Two federal judges, of course, we already went over this, ruled Friday that the Trump administration must use emergency contingency funds to keep the program funded through November. Okay, however, it's still unclear whether the Trump administration plans to comply, which is pretty much what I just said. Evers said that's why he issued the state of emergency declaration. Quote, the good news is that the courts agree with what we've said all along, which is that the Trump administration should have and could have taken action sooner to prevent November food issuance from lapsing for millions of Americans, including for nearly 700,000 Wisconsin residents. But now the damage is done, he said. While we wait to see if the Trump administration will follow court orders and the law and do the right thing here in Wisconsin, we must continue to prepare for the worst. All right, so unlike in other states, the governor of Wisconsin does not have the power to appropriate funding by executive order or unilateral mechanism that would continue funding for food share benefits or provide other resources to food pantries. Doing so would require a bill to be passed by the Republican-controlled Wisconsin State Assembly and Senate. So far, both houses have indicated that they have no plans to do so. So we've got a state of emergency in Wisconsin. However, basically, he just doesn't have the authority to just simply say, we're going to appropriate funds to this, that, and the third. They would have to take a vote on it. And it's looking like his co-workers, we're going to call them that, are saying, nope, we have no intentions of voting on that or allowing you to appropriate funds to anything at this current moment. So I do think that I wanted to let you guys know that at least your governor is thinking about you guys, and he's trying to get things moving to help out with the food insecurity that is currently going on with people who have lost access to their benefits. But he just doesn't have, you know, as much authority as he would like. And I'm sure the residents of Wisconsin would like for him to have to be able to make some additional moves in addition to that. So in Contra Costa County, which is a county out here in California, it says they have plans to distribute grocery debit cards to the county's 107,000 CalFresh enrollees facing a loss of benefits due to the federal government shutdown. The debit cards will carry a value similar to the family's existing benefits. Supervisor John Gioia said on Saturday the average monthly benefit for a family of 3 is around $573. Subject to the Board of Supervisors vote next Tuesday, which would be tomorrow. Okay, I'm assuming it's going to be tomorrow, where we will decide or declare a local emergency. We plan to allocate up to $21 million out of our rainy day reserves to fund these benefits for the month of November, he said in a press release. The cards will be distributed at 4 Employment and Human Services Department offices, and we have Richmond. There's a location in Richmond, Hercules, Pleasant Hill, and Antioch, okay? I'm going to be linking all of these articles as I always do down below. So you guys, it has the actual address in this article. So all you need to do is click on it. But it says food boxes for needy families, even those who are not CalFresh enrollees, will be available starting today, Monday, November the 3rd, at these same 4 locations, he said. Needy families, regardless of immigration status, are welcome to come by. The U.S. Agriculture Department, citing the ongoing government, said it would withhold payments to the food program known outside of California as the Supplemental Nutrition Program, okay? And then it goes on to talk a little bit more about the 2 federal judges ordering Trump to go ahead and pay out these benefits. He says it is unclear when debit cards used by enrollees can be reloaded with the November benefit amount, he said. It can take 1 to 2 weeks to do this. That's why the county is moving forward with its plan to support hardworking families who rely on this vital food benefit, he said. And that is all. But like I said, I will be linking all of these articles down below. But this one in particular, I'm going to try to pin that one at the top of the list so that you guys can go ahead and get access to those addresses. For those of you guys who are in Contra Costa, I'm going to put the name of that on the screen. I hope I said that right. But for those of you guys who are in Contra Costa County in California, they will be giving out food boxes today as of November the 3rd. So you guys can go by those locations and get them. It's not giving me a specific time. So once I post this video, you guys may want to take a look at the address and see if you can call up there and get a time. And then if you can, come back and share down below in the comment sections with some of your fellow residents who may be close by who want to go ahead and see if they can get access to those food boxes as well. But as always, you guys, that is absolutely all that I have for you guys. I know that this is a lot of information. I definitely wish that it was a little bit more clear as to what's going to be going on with the SNAP program as a whole. But as many people have said in these articles, it's just really, really unclear as to what Donald Trump is going to do. He's saying that he wants to be helpful. He's saying that he doesn't want Americans to go hungry, yet and still he's also saying, well, what money? Because the money that's there is not for that. So as soon as you guys tell me where to get the money from to pay, then we'll pay. So I personally am expecting there to be some additional delays beyond the delays that would come once everything is situated. I think that there's going to be delays in figuring out where the money is going to be coming from. And then on top of that, I am saying to also expect there to be delays when it comes to payment. It's going to go out in waves. I'm sure it's not going to go all out at the same time. But hey, we'll all just have to wait and see. But that is absolutely all that I have for you guys in today's video. I hope this information was in some way helpful or useful to you at any rate, okay? Definitely go ahead and smash that like button. Really drive up the lights. It lets YouTube know that you like what I'm doing and you want me to stick around. I am tongue-tied today. in light of my t-shirt, my gym gear today, go ahead and drop some blue hearts down below in the comment section. Let me know that you watched this video all the way to the end. And as always, I'm going to say, remember to live, love, and elevate. And I will definitely see you guys in the next video.